In today's Tip Test Tuesday, we are looking at a pen that I have pretty much avoided in the planner community since I've been in it. Honestly, because it always felt a little gimmicky and not like something I would use. That pen, of course, is the Pilot Frixion. I know that there's several different styles of Pilot Frixion. I've seen different ones at like the store in Japantown. I know on Jet Pens they have a whole list of different styles of Frixions. These are the Color Stick that I got from Target because, to be perfectly honest with you, my favorite kinds of gel pens to test are the gel pens you can get at fucking Target because those are most likely to be accessible to people rather than having to order online or go through like specialty pen sellers. But there are a whole bunch of different Frixions, and this is the only kind I'm looking at today, are the Color Stick. What are Frixions? Frixions are erasable pens. They're made by Pilot, and this ink is like a special, what do they call it, like thermosensitive thermonuclear would be a bad idea. They're thermosensitive ink that disappears with heat, and the heat comes from rubbing this eraser situation on it back and forth. Some people love these pens because it gives them the ability to erase like a pencil while at the same time not looking like a pencil, because pencil is boring, am I right? So that's why people like these pens, from what I understand. I have also heard some horror stories about these pens, that if you leave your planner in the car, though I wouldn't do that if I were you, because I've heard rumor that planners get stolen out of people's cars. When the car gets hot, like on a hot day when the car heats up, the ink just disappears. And to me, that seems like a terrible idea, to write things that you need to remember in an ink that will disappear. Is it like Roger Rabbit when he wrote his will in disappearing ink? Is that what this is? Like, seriously? So I've been hesitant to use them. But I figured that because these are erasable ink, they're like the standard of erasable ink and they're gel ink, that they need to be in the Gel Ink Thunderdome that I'm doing next month, where I compare hella different gel pens to each other to have only one, like in Highlander. So I figured I might as well do a video on these. But this isn't a gimmick or no video, even though I do plan on starting a series like that, because I know that there's a lot of people who really, really love these pens and they're not really gimmicky to them. They're gimmicky to me because I have no interest in an erasable pen. I'd rather just cross things out or cover it up. Now, this pack has 5 colors in it, and I bought it from Target, like I just said, for $6, thereabouts, right? So not bad. And it said on the package that there's 10 total colors of this style of Frixion. I don't know what other colors there are because I didn't see them there. There was only a 5-pack. So off of the Target website, let's get you some claims. Write in smooth, vibrant color and stick it to mistakes. And that's capitalized. Oh, that's awful. Let's not do that, Target. Let's not do that, Target. Unique thermosensitive gel ink formula disappears with erasing friction. Delivers vivid, smooth writing in 5 vibrant shades. It said smooth and vibrant in the first claim and now in the third claim, which is making me think that there aren't that many claims and they're just repeating more to make it look like there's more. God, I am such a dick. I'm already judging these pens and I haven't even used them yet. Streamlined, clipless, roll-free design. Write, erase, and rewrite repeatedly without damaging documents. No wear and tear. Let's give them a shot. Looking at these pens, first of all, I like how they have this little bump on the cap. It keeps the pen from like rolling off the counter. That just stops them naturally, which is nice. They're really pretty packaging. I like kind of the look. I am not as big of a fan of pens with caps as I am of retractable pens, just because they're easier to use, but I can imagine with this kind of ink that they want to cap it. The cap is pretty secure and it clicks really nicely onto the end, so it's not going to go anywhere and you still have that same benefit. Well, actually I just knocked it and it just kept going, but I guess if you're not whacking your pens around, you're fine. The grip is kind of ribbed for her pleasure, except I don't actually know if it's gonna be ribbed for my pleasure or not. Like, okay, look, I grip the pen super hard, so watch me grip and watch me nay-nay. I can't believe I just said that. I've been hanging out with my kids too long. Now, I don't know if you can see that here, but I have the ridges. And it's not just ruffles that have ridges, it's also my callus. So that I can imagine would piss me off after a little while. And then the little eraser situation is here on the cap. So let's give these a write, see how they feel. Well, that feels really nice. It's very streaky though. I mean, this is the original first. Well, I mean, this is very, very streaky. Let me zoom in so you can see. This is the black PS. Like, that is very uneven. Uneven. Oh, this would drive me nuts. This would drive me the fuck nuts. Maybe it's because it's the erasable. So while we're zoomed in, let's give it a shot. Let's erase some of this shit. I mean, I'm used to knocking the things off, but I know that's not how this works. It's actually the heat of it. But I don't know if you can see that, but you can still, like, you still get, the word is still there. It's not completely gone. Let's try this again. That was a little bit better. Maybe it erases better for people who aren't, because I think what's left here is really not so much a shadow as it is the divot. Except there isn't like a huge divot on the paper. But I can feel it, like the texture a little bit. So maybe that's what I'm seeing. I think what I'm gonna do, like, so it says writes vivid, smooth writing. I am going to dispute both of those claims. This looks neither vivid nor smooth to me. There's a little bit of like, it feels like residue or something on the paper, but like the back of the paper feels perfectly fine except for the bumpiness from where I wrote in the first place. But I swear, like looking at this does not look like it was fully erased. It looks like it was partly erased, but I can still see the shadowing and like a little bit of like a yellow kind of undertone where I erased off the pen. So I don't know if that's alone to the black or if it's going to be the other colors. So I'm going to do a color test, and when I do the color test this time, I am going to write out all the colors, and then I'm going to erase test all of the colors. Looking at this, they all have that kind of streakiness that the black has, although I would say the black is probably the worst at the streakiness. When it comes to the actual erasing, the red erased the worst, and the gray actually erased almost entirely. There's just the indentation that's left. I really like the gray. I think it's a beautiful color. I mean, it's a little streaky, but like, it's not something that I see a lot of in like writing pens. I think it's really pretty. And I love how bright the pink is. It's that corally kind of pink that I love, that again, sometimes is hard to find in this bright of a version, but it did erase kind of shitty. They are all true to color. This blue is actually probably more of a blue-black. I'm not sure what the other colors are. I guess I'll have to look into them. But for this set that I have, the ones that I love the most are the gray and the pink, and I think I might keep using those, though I probably won't erase with them. These aren't a gimmick, but they're not for me. Like, that's the way I came at this. The ink was too streaky. Like I said in the beginning, I am not someone who feels the urge to erase things. If the ink was vibrant, as the claim said, which I disagree with completely, they write smoothly. It feels smooth, but it doesn't look smooth. Smooth and vibrant look, not there. Smooth feel, yeah, they felt great writing with them, like any other good gel pen does. But the ink itself, it was disappointing to see like how streaky and patchy looking it was. I will say though that these two colors, the pink and the gray, these two are probably going to find their way into my writing and my note taking, not because they're erasable, but just because I like the colors. I do not need to erase shit, generally speaking. Now that doesn't mean I don't fuck up or that things don't change. It just means that when things do change, I cross it out and move on. And that's not a judgment on people who do erase. It's just my style. I know some people get twitchy if they had that kind of shit in their planner, but for me, I'm like, no big deal. I'm wondering if the other styles of Frixion maybe are a little bit better. If you're a Frixion person, if you like these kinds of pens, please let me know in the comments. If the streakiness and the kind of shitty left behind of the erasedness, like a pencil would erase cleaner than that, and I suck at erasing pencil lines, but the shadowing and shit that gets left behind when you erase these, that sucks, and the streakiness sucks. And then on top of that, I'm heavy-handed, so I leave an indentation on the paper. So even if the ink is gone, the indentation remains. And if there's even a small trace of ink left, then it looks dirty. And that's kind of what happened to me, which could just be a heavy-handed thing and not a shitty pen thing. And I don't want to dog on these so hard, especially considering that Pilot makes so many other pens that I fucking love, like the G2s and the fine liners. But these ones these are not for me. Do I recommend them? If you're heavy-handed, probably not. If you need to erase shit in your planner, yeah, I mean, you might as well use them, but just be prepared that they don't erase as cleanly as they might. I feel like a dick. I just hella shit talked these pens on this video, but I have to give my honest opinion, right? And I was really disappointed by these, while at the same time not surprised in the slightest. If you've got other gel pens you'd like to recommend to me, whether or not I've done videos on them, please leave your suggestions in the comments below so that I have amassed an amount of pens to be able to compare them all. And I will say, I have this feeling that I'm going to be doing a big pen giveaway after the Thunderdome is over, because as much as I like a lot of these pens I'm trying, there's no fucking way I'm going to use them all, so I might as well pass them on to someone else. So the more you recommend, the bigger that giveaway might get. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.